When we moved here from Texas 6 years ago, we were trying to come up with an idea for a business to open. We'd had a party rental facility and spacewalk rentals when we lived in Louisiana. And so we moved here, we were thinking of something else that we could start and kind of tossed ideas around. My favorite cake is an Italian cream cake, and so we tried a bunch of different bakeries and tried to find one that was close to something that we'd had at home in Baton Rouge and couldn't find one. So I set out on a quest to make a good one. And the more that we made things and the more we'd go with my kids to different places and try their stuff, and my kids would stop eating it and say, "Mommy, yours is better," the more we started thinking, maybe that's our niche. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to start thinking about opening up a bakery. So right about November of 2010, because we're in 2012, in 2010, we started seriously considering opening up a bakery. So we took out our business license and started looking at locations and signed all the paperwork and all the fun stuff. And we signed our lease on July 26th. I was actually hoping that we would start off slow and not get really crazy busy from the very beginning, because I wanted to kind of get used to what our business was going to be like and what our volume was going to be like. But that's not what happened. We got busy really quick, really fast, and we're selling out the first week, and it was just me. So there were days that we were selling out at like 11:30 in the morning, and granted, we opened at 11 o'clock. So somebody would come in and wipe us out. So as we learned kind of a little bit more, I think it took me about 2 weeks to realize I needed to hire somebody to help out. And then just a couple of weeks longer, and we ended up hiring Jason to come work on the weekends too, to kind of help out with that Saturday volume, so that way we could pick up, the additional help with the cakes and the baking and everything. So we have definitely steadily gotten busier and busier. I think probably the most requested decorated cake that we've had so far has been Angry Birds. In fact, we had 2 Angry Birds cakes yesterday, where we did a little scene with the birds catapulting into the structure with the pigs on it, with the Angry Birds around the side. So we get a lot of requests for Angry Birds cakes. I think that's probably the most requested, aside from things like flowers and butterflies and can you put bugs on my cake and that kind of thing. But it's all about the Angry Birds right now. We have always named our kids, our nicknames have always been something around food or around bugs. I mean, I think every kid has gone through some iteration of wiggle worm, squirm worm, tater tot, Pop Tart. I mean, it's been something with food and bugs, and I don't know why it is, but it is. So we sort of kept it that way, and we were trying to think of a name. I mean, I don't even remember where exactly we were, and all of a sudden I turned to my husband and I said, "It's going to be Love Bugs." I don't know. I mean, I think that because it's kind of always been about the kids. I always wanted something that was going to be kid friendly and something kind of place that we'd want to go and we want our kids to enjoy. And I don't know. It just made sense. That's a scary question. And because those little pink couches in the front of the building, those were originally my sleeping place on the weekends. Because literally when it was just me for this first couple of weekends, I slept on the couches. I mean, it was like, okay, the cake's in the oven for the next 25 minutes. I'm going to go take a nap. And that was pretty much it. So for a long time, I did not go home between Friday and Saturday. So I'd see the kids in the morning, Friday morning, and I would see them on Sunday morning when I finally woke up from the I guess, stress-induced coma that I was in by the end of the weekend. The great thing is that I love what I'm doing, so it makes up for it. Piece of advice that I would give you is to do your homework, is to make sure that this is really what you want to do, that you've checked out the competition, you have some sort of an idea of, where they're located and what they're doing and how you feel about what they're doing, and how to be able to niche yourself, not necessarily to be competition with them, but to be able to provide for your customers the kind of service that they desire. And then I would say to make sure that you have a good support system, because for a long time you're going to be the one doing everything. So however long that you can do that, I would say definitely make sure that you are well aware of the fact that it's a lot of long hours and it's a lot of hard work and it's all that responsibility on your shoulders. And so, make sure that, your friends and your family are there to help support you and to help, keep you motivated, hopefully, but to help support you in whatever else you have in your home and your personal life to make sure that you're able to be successful at what you do. And then you have to, once again, you have to love and you have to be able to be willing to give back to your community as well. So I would definitely keep all of those together. It's like, what can you do and where can you find your peace and joy in what you do, and how do you bring that peace and joy to others as well, and ultimately you will find your happiness in whatever you do.